Stephanie. Welcome and welcome back to Quilting Beauty and Books, my corner of YouTube. I pray that you and your family are all doing well today and that you enjoy today's video. In today's video, I plan on sharing with you some new releases that are coming out in the months of November and December. Books that I either plan on purchasing myself or being gifted for Christmas. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this video. For all the books that I plan on mentioning, I will do a split screen and they will be right here on the screen. The first book that I want to talk about is called Deadly Deceit, and it is by Natalie Walters. I am looking at my phone, so you guys, if you see me looking down, that's what I'm referring to. But however, it's book number 2 in the series called Harbored Secrets. So in order to get book number 2, I have to read book number 1. So I'm going to read what book number 1 is about, but I'm not going to read what book number 2 is about, so I won't be giving away anything to myself or to you guys. So Living Lies is about, in the little town of Walton, Georgia, everybody knows your name, but no one knows your secret. At least that's what Lane Kent is counting on when she returns to her hometown with her 5-year-old son. Dangerously depressed after the death of her husband, Lane is looking for hope. What she finds instead is a dead body. Lane must work with the Waltons' newest deputy, Charlie Lynch, to uncover the truth behind the murder. But when that truth hits too close to home, she'll have to decide if saving the life of another is worth the cost of revealing her darkest secret. So that is Living Lies, book number 1. And then I'm going to buy both of them, Living Lies and, again, Deadly Deceit. And it is from the Harbored Secrets series by Natalie Walters. The next book is by Terri Blockstock and is called Smokescreen. This book is, I believe, is a standalone book. It didn't identify any series with it, and it is about Nate Beckett. This is a long one, y'all. Nate Beckett has spent his life fighting wildfires instead of the lies and rumors that drove him from his Colorado hometown. His mother begs him to come back now that his father has been released from prison, but it isn't until he is sidelined by an injury that he is forced to return and face his past. But that means facing Brianna too. 14 years ago, Nate was in love with the preacher's daughter. When Pastor Strickland discovered Brianna defied him to sneak out with Nate, the fight between Strickland and Nate's drunken dad was loud and very public. Strickland was found murdered later that night, and everyone accused Roy Beckett. When the church burned down not long after, people assumed Nate set the fire to get even for his father's conviction. He let the rumors fly and left town without looking back. Brianna is stunned to learn that the man convicted of murdering her father has been pardoned. The events of that night set her life on a bad course, and now she's fighting for a brutal custody with her ex and his new wife, where he's using lies and his family's money to sway the judge. Brianna is barely hanging on, and she's turned to alcohol to cope. Shame and fear consume her. As Nate and Brianna deal with the past, including new information about that fateful night and a wildfire that's threatening their town, the past keeps igniting. Nate is the steady force Brianna has so desperately needed, but she'll have to learn to trust him again first. So that is one that I plan on purchasing, and again, it is called Smokescreen by Terri Blockstock. The next book is called Protecting Protecting Tanner Hollow, and it's by Lynette, Eason. And this is a 4 romantic suspense novellas. The first novella is called Letha Homecoming, and it's Nolan Tanner never got over Callie Ainsworth's sudden, unexplained departure. Now, when he comes to her rescue after an attempt on her life, the old feelings come rushing back. The second novella is called Lethal Conspiracy. The second one is called Lethal Conspiracy. When professional fundraiser Lillian Maloney sees her father's campaign manager commit murder, she goes on the run from the men he hires to kill her. A close call brings firefighter Jason Tanner to the rescue, but the killer is close in. The third novella is called Lethal Secrets. Someone wants Honor McBride dead. When Eli Murphy helps her change a flat tire and discovers the danger Honor is in, he longs to help, but Eli has secrets of his own that could get them all killed. The fourth novella is called Lethal Agenda, and it's when Detective Derek St. John rescues a woman he meets only once before and has never been able to forget. He finds himself falling for her, but he'll have to keep Claire Montgomery alive if they're to have a future together. And that again is called Protecting Tanner Hollow by Lynette Eason, and it is 4 romantic suspense novellas. The next book is called When Silence Sings, and is by Sarah Loudin Thomas. The description reads, Preacher Coleman Harp seeks peace rather than revenge when his cousin is murdered by the McLeans. Yet, he flees when God tells him to preach to his family's enemies. When he's taken ill in McLean territory, he's nursed by herbalist Ivy. Can he fulfill God's command in spite of the hatred between Sarepta McLean and his uncle? You guys gonna hear some little dings because my phone in airplane mode is not working right. So you're going to hear some little dings from messages and notifications that's coming through. I'm sorry about that. The next one is When I Close My Eyes, and it is by Elizabeth Musser. The product description reads, Famous author Josephine Bourdelion is trapped in a coma, jumping across memory as her body fights to survive. Meanwhile, those around her are waging their own battles. The desperate hired killer who wounded her wonders how to finish the job, and her teenage daughter Paige is overwhelmed with fear. Can grace bring them all into the light? And the last book, this is book number 2, I do believe, in this series. The book is called In the Cradle Lies, and it's by Olivia Newport, and it is part of the Tree of Life series. But again, in order to get book number 2, I gotta read book number 1, and book number 1 is called The Inn at Hidden Run. I'm going to read what book number 1 says. Again, I'm not going to read what book number 2 say because I don't want to spoil anything from book number 1. The product description reads, Mary's family has been producing doctors for so many generations that no one remembers why. So when she flunks out of medical school, she runs as far from her parents as she can get. In the small mountain town of Canyon Mines, Colorado, she takes a job at the inn at Hidden Run B&B and waits. It's only a matter of time. What she doesn't count on is genealogist Jillian Parisi Duffy and her father Nolan having her back when it takes everything she has not to bolt again, but to stay and face the truth that only unfolding her family's history will reveal. While Nolan works on keeping Mary calm and in town, Jillian pulls out of her gems of information she doesn't know she has and arranges the puzzle pieces. But none of that changes the fact that Mary's family is closing in to haul her back to her real life. When their arrival inflames tensions and Mary finally does vote, Nolan and Jillian may be out of time. Okay, now that is it for the books in November. Let's discuss the books that I plan to get or purchase in the month of December. The first book is called The Camera Never Lies, and it is by David Rawlings. Product description reads: Daniel Whiteley is a successful couples counselor, yet his own marriage is in crisis and his daughter is drifting further away each day. When Daniel inherits an old camera from his grandfather, he notices an inscription on the bottom. Use this camera wisely and remember, regardless of the picture you think you took, the camera never lies. When Daniel starts using the camera and he develops his photos, they threaten to reveal secrets that could sabotage both his marriage and his career, exposing him as a fraud and destroying the life he has worked so hard to build. He's faced with a choice: keeping his secrets and save his career, or come clean and possibly save his family. Next book is called The Dating Charade, and it is by Melissa Ferguson. The product description reads: Cassie Everson has a habit of escaping in the middle of notorious bad first dates. And after years of meeting, greeting, and running from the men who true to woo her, Cassie is just about ready to retire her hopes for a husband and children altogether. Cassie finally decides to throw herself into a career as director of Girls Haven, a demanding position that is already central to her life. But fate has other plans, and Casey's online dating profile catches the eye of Jet Bentley. In Jet's memory, Cassie Everson is the unreachable, untouchable girl from their high school days. Nervously, he messages her. After a knockout first day where both Jet and Casey claim to not want kids, they go home to find 3 children dropped in their laps, Each, without wanting to give up on their new relationship, Jet and Casey decides to do the right and mature thing, hide the kids from each other or other while sorting it all out. What could go wrong? I'm sorry, if you hear someone in the background, that is my mother-in-law. She is on the phone, so don't go ahead and ignore that. Okay, the next book is called Seconds to Live, and it is by Susan Sleeman, and it is book number 1 in the Homeland Heroes series. The description reads: when cyber criminals hack into the U.S. Marshals Witness Protection Database and auction off witnesses' personal detail to the highest bidders, the Red Team, led by FBI agent Sean Nichols, begins a high-stakes chase to find the hacker. But before he can even get started, the first witness is targeted and barely escapes with her life. Sean believes Phantom, an obsessed hacker who previously outwitted the top minds in the field, is behind the attack, and Sean needs this witness's help, as she's the person who has come closest to discovering Phantom's identity. Trouble is, she's a witness under the care of the U.S. Marshal Taylor Mills, and Sean is reluctant to work with the captivating Marshal who knows his deepest secrets. But Phantom claims he knows where the witness is hiding and will kill her. So to stop the hacker, Sean and Taylor must work together through their personal pain and learn to trust each other. The seconds are ticking down before someone dies. And again, that was book number 1 on Seconds to Live by Susan Sleeman and the Homeland Heroes series. And the last book is called Echoes Among the Stones, and it is by Jaime Wright. The description reads, in 1946, Emma Jean Flanagan works in a factory and dreams of owning a beauty salon until she returns home one day and discovers her sister's body in the attic. Decades later, Aggie Dunkirk is helping an archaeologist restore the town's cemetery when she unwittingly uncovers a crime somebody's desperate to keep quiet. Will they silence her permanently? Yeah, so that was the last book. And that is it, guys. Those are all the books that I plan on being gifted or purchasing at the end of the year. It seemed like a lot, but it really wasn't this time, which I'm really surprised with. But that's okay. That's okay, because I'm running out of shelf space. So I got to get to reading all these books that I have purchased. But if there are some books that you plan on reading that I did not talk about, go ahead and list those down in the comment sections below so I can peruse and check them out and see if they will be on a surprise guest for a surprise purchase during before the end of the month. So go ahead and like this video and share if you like. Subscribe if you haven't. And also go ahead and click that post notification bell so you'll be notified of my next upload. And until the next video, guys, I want you to be blessed. Bye.